For investing your time with us. The program is still ongoing this morning on ITV, broadcasting from your darling station, High Independent Television, located here at the hilltop of Mpape District in the nation's capital city. My name is Iharuata. It's now time for us to hit the sky, and hit the sky flying very much. Vowsy, it's time for takeoff. And the program we have always been talking about is one that dwells strongly on aviation, looking at what it means to somehow be on the ground, do your taxi, do all your checks and whatever, take off, cruise in the sky, and as well land safely, disembark and return home. Everything within the airport environment, everything within in the sky, as well as what you will be doing in flight, and several that been following that consistently weeks for years now. And we are hoping that as we go through this every day, you learn something. And sometimes when you are in the plane, you may not just know what many persons are doing around. And that's why what we do here is to showcase to you the best and the best of what you should know when it comes to the aviation sector. Okay, this morning, Anchor is there on the screen, Mr. Godwin N.A.K. Like I said earlier, and I will always keep telling you, the program is not just one in-studio dialogue here or discourse or interview section. He wants to actually interface with you. If you want anything pro bono, he will keep you guided. And the contact is there, the phone number is there, the Airtel, the MTN, sorry, the Airtel, the MTN, the email is there, the website is there, the YouTube channel is there as well. You can tweet at him, okay? That's that. Very wonderful morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Atta.
Very good morning, sir.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was fine, it was nice, and we're back to work again this morning.
Oh, as usual, as usual.
Okay, this morning, sir, what will we be looking at?
Flight formations. Very often, you find our Air Force men, maintaining formations in the sky, especially leading to the last Independence Day when practices that unfortunately ended up in the crash of two of the airplanes, and then denying us the lovely show we would have had on the first.
We had the show that day. I watched it.
Oh, you did?
I watched it on Independence Day. It was real beautiful.
Oh, wonderful.
They did that. They showcased it. Very, very beautiful. Flight formation there.
Oh, great, great, great. I had thought that because I stayed out of town. It was
very beautiful. Even when they passed through this studio here, going towards the Eagle Square, and also at the Eagle Square, I watched the flight formation. The helicopter had their own show. We had the fighter jet had their own show. I think we had a set where a cargo plane, a military cargo plane, was going and guided with about 3 or 4 fighter jets by the side here. Real beautiful one there going on around.
Wonderful.
That took place that day.
Wonderful. So I'm going to have our viewers understand the need for flight formation. Those are not only for celebrations and show. It's actually made to help dogfighting, to help our Air Force ward off enemy flights that come into our airspace without authority. Flight formations are actually part of the training that our Air Force, need to get the knack of and be ready for action anytime. And so, based on that incident, I thought I should really educate Nigerians, and indeed anyone watching anywhere in the world, what we mean by flight formations,
okay,
and the different types of flight formations, and what this is part one.
Okay,
it's a huge topic, so there's a lot to learn.
Let's go to the first clip quickly.
Yes.
Can get the first clip, flight formation. Let's understand, because some of us believe it's just military parade to make the sky look beautiful. Okay, we got those fighter jets there. A definition of formation flying.
That's correct. Now, when 2 or more aircraft are flown in a disciplined, watch the words, so that you see what our men and women of the Air Force are doing for us. Now, when 2 or more aircraft are flown in a disciplined manner under the command of a flight leader, it is known as formation flying. Flight formations are used by military pilots for mutual defense and firepower concentration.
Can you explain? I know defense, firepower concentration. Explain that a little.
Right. When you have a formation, I'll give you an example of one that is known as four finger. Okay. Watch my fingers. If you come back to us briefly, we'll be able. Okay. If you watch my fingers without the thumb, you will notice that this in particular is in front, ahead, followed by that one, and then of course you have these two receding. This is a formation in flight, and it's called four-finger formation. All right. The whole idea is that this leader and the one next to him, you are going to see all the details shortly, will be heading, while their wingmen will also, be protecting their rear. Okay. Now, if there's enemy jet that they have to ward off somewhere, even while keeping this formation, these two can fire. While maintaining this formation, these two can fire and have their rear protected by these other two.
I get it very clearly.
Very well. So that's, that's one of the, flight formations that we're going to be seeing today, and there are quite a couple of others, just numerous. Anything you can think about and design as an Air Force officer, and it's tested out and seen to really make sense, can be given a name, and it becomes part of the drill that people will do for the advantage of air superiority. So that concentration, you asked about the power concentration, that is part of it. If they were to fly separately, doing their thing, they wouldn't really have that concentration required to really blow out of the air, another formation of enemy flight coming at you. And so that's why it's described as firepower concentration. Okay. Right. But in civilian aviation, if you go back to the clip, we'll continue where we stop. Okay. But in civilian aviation, formation flying is usually performed at air shows like the one we had in, from Boro, which of course our people attended, not too long ago, and also for recreation. If you look at that the photograph embedded in this clip, you will see, the formation there. In this case, these individuals are flying. Yes, they are flying in echelon. Some a system that is known as echelon, where you just exactly what you see in there. Right. There's a leader, and then others are hanging one on top of the other, and then moving in those kind of formation. So that's about that. Let's learn to click 2 so that we can see a little more about flight formation. Types of flight formations. There are different types of flight formations. Some of them include finger four, the one I just said.
That's the one I have the picture on the screen there.
That's correct. That's a finger four. That's the photograph you're looking at. It was actually used a lot during the Second World War. So you have the fly past, you have the Vic formation, and you have touch weave. I want to deal with these 4 as we go along. There are just a whole lot of formations that you have in aviation sector, and as we finish with part 1 and get to part 2, we see how much we can do, because it's quite huge. Now, finger 4 formation, known also as 4-finger formation and fingertip formation. Those are the different names for the same 4-finger formation or finger 4 formation. Now, finger 4 formation is a flight formation used by fighter aircraft. It consists of 4 aircraft. A squadron formation consists of 4 finger 4 formations. That is 16 aircraft formation. Before you move to clip 3, do bring us the photograph that's 2-in-1, you know, where you have different colors of airplanes. Let's take a look at that so I can explain something about this.
Okay, this is it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, is zoomed in more than
nobody's clear.
Should
you've
be.
You've got the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow.
That's right. Yeah. So you see, those are finger 4 formations brought into what is known as finger 4 squadron.
Good.
So 4 of them. That's 4 times 4.
16.
16.
Correct.
So you can actually have this kind of formation, you know, to form a squadron.
Fine.
And you can now understand the meaning of having, you know, concentration of firepower. You can imagine any enemy that makes this kind of formation heading towards it. Your best bet is to turn around and run out of that airspace.
I mean, if you have enough time.
Well, that's if especially if you have a technology that enables you to see the enemy before the enemy sees you. You take them all out of the skies before you know, before they know what's going on. Yeah. So that's about that. Let's move to. We've talked about a squadron formation consisting of 4 finger 4 formation. That's what we just saw on the photograph there. That is 16 aircraft formation. Now, let's go to clip 3 and then.
Clip 3 quickly.
Yes, formation continues.
That's types of formation continues.
Yeah, finger 4 continues. Okay. This formation consists of a flight of 4 aircraft. Now we're getting the details of what those 4 aircraft, you know, constitute and what their roles are. Now, 2 of which consist the lead element, and the other 2 the second element. Did you pick up that? Yeah, the lead element and the other 2 the second element. Okay. Viewed from above, the positions of the planes resemble the tips of the 4 fingers of the human right hand. Correct. Without the thumb. Your right hand, not the left.
This one?
Yes, without the thumb.
Okay.
All right? So that's the formation you're looking at. Where the formation got its name. It actually got its name from the nature of the human 4 fingers without the thumb. You know. Now, the lead element consists of the flight leader. If you take us slightly back to clip 2, I'll be able to.
Clip 2, because clip 2.
I'll be able to show viewers what I'll go on reading while viewers are taking a look at it. But anyway, okay, the lead element consists of. Okay, you can see those airplanes heading forward. Okay, now what this is telling us is that the lead element is the first airplane ahead. All right. Now, it says the element consists of the flight leader, which is that first one, you know, in front is known as the flight leader at the front of the formation, and then he has a wingman, which is to his rear left. Correct. So to his rear left is his wingman, and then. The second element is made up of an additional 2 planes, the element leader and his wingman. So those are the names given to them, you know, in that kind of formation. So go back to clip 3 so that our viewers will read along and understand what we're talking about. Now, viewed from above, the positions of the planes resemble the tips of the 4 fingers of the human right hand without the thumb, where the formation got its name. The lead element consists of the flight leader at the front of the formation and 1 wingman to his rear left. The second element is made up of an additional 2 planes, the element leader and his wingman. The element leader is to the right and rear of the flight, you know, leader. Followed by the element wingman to his right and rear. We've seen that already on that in a photograph. Let's go over to clip 4.
Clip 4 quickly.
Clip 4.
Okay, that's it here.
Right. We are continuing with the flight formation.
This one appears to be how it appears from above.
That's correct.
That's the picture you get.
That's correct. And as a matter of fact, that's where the name, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be legible enough here for viewers to, except if you get close to the TV, you see. But I'm going to name them, and viewers will be able to understand what we're talking about. Okay. Both the flight leader and the element leader have offensive roles. Now, you find the flight leader as the plane in front. All right?
Yeah.
And the element leader is one, to his left, next to him, but it's looking as right to us here, because of the mirror imaging that we are having here. The one that is supposed to be on his left is actually the one we are looking at as the right one there.
Okay.
Now, let's continue. Both the flight leader and the element leader have offensive roles, as they are the ones to open fire on enemy aircraft, while the flight remains intact. Okay? They don't have to really, disorganize and break out of their formation, to fight the battle they need to fight when they are still within their formation. Their wingmen play defensive role. While the flight wingman covers the rear of the flight leader, the element wingman covers the rear of the lead element.
Okay.
So that's the way it is. And so the photographs there are named for you to understand who is the element leader, who is the flight leader, and who is the wingman and the element wingman. So Clip 5. Let's look at a very interesting part of this missing man formation. Although the finger 4 formation went out of vogue after the Second World War, it is still used in the missing man formation at pilots' funeral ceremonies.
Okay.
Yeah, when pilots die and they are being buried, the finger 4 formation is usually a way of sending that one that is gone forth, and watch the next paragraph and see how they do it. The formation performs a flyby in level flight over the funeral, at which point the second element leader climbs vertically and departs the formation, symbolizing the departure of the person being honored. Come back to us. Let me use our miniature here to show exactly what we're talking about. Now, you have this as a leader, headed, and then, of course, you have his wingman to the left. You have the other, element with his own wingman, protecting his rear. Now, what happens is that during the show, to send forth a pilot that is passed on, as they come over the arena where the burial ceremony is taking place, this lead element gets into a vertical climb, while the others maintain their level and continue in their formation. Now, those ones now move out as free airplanes, maintaining their positions with that position of this one that is gone off vertically.
Exiting.
Yes, exiting the formation. That gap remains there.
Correct.
It's symbolic.
That someone is gone.
That's correct. Announcing that somebody's gone. So that's that's what this is talking about. The formation performs a flyby in level flight over the funeral, at which point the second element leader climbs vertically and departs the formation, symbolizing the departure of the person being honored. So that's what we have. Let's look at some of the Photographs, see them one after the, oh, you can see this is clearer now.
Yeah, it's clearer now.
This is clearer now, the four-finger formation. You see the flight leader ahead there. You see his wingman to his left.
Element leader.
Right, and then you see the element leader. Those are the two. The flight leader and the element leader are the ones that will challenge enemy, fire while they're still maintaining their formation. But the flight wingman and the element wingman, those are the rear, protect the rear of those two, the flight leader and element leader, while they are firing. Let's see the next photograph and see what. This is the U.S. F-16 formation. In a four-finger formation. Those are F-16s, maintaining a four-finger formation. Next, let's take a look at another one and see if there's anyone we haven't seen. Let's have it. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Yes.
But in terms of this formation here,
that's right.
This demand intensive practice.
Oh yes.
Practice. So
that
when you miss the speed, you're going to crash.
As a matter of fact, it's part of why we are bringing this show. It's not something that you start because you want to do a ceremony. It's something that our young pilots in the Air Force must practice every other day, every other week. I know it costs a lot of money to do this. Government must budget money, fund them properly, and get there. Because without practice, the likelihood is that you're going to have some, very fatal errors that will cause the kind of embarrassment that we had a day before the Independence Day. Those are things that happen when thorough practice is not being put in, and then of course during practice, errors do occur, even in the United States of America, even in Britain. Those very powerful nations that you can say that they are near perfect. No one is perfect. They make mistakes during training, but it's the essence of the training. The essence of the training is that when those mistakes are made, the rest of the people there learn from it, and then perfect the art and be who we need them to be, and ready to protect our national integrity and protect our airspace. When somebody, an intruder, flies into our airspace and refuses to identify himself, and will say, leave the airspace immediately, and is recalcitrant, you scramble this war jets at that flying object, be it a plane or manned flying object, whatever it is that is intruding into our airspace. It's the business of these Air Force men and women. You scramble them in the sky, go after the thing, take them out of the skies, and keep us safe. That's what it's all about.
Okay, thank you very much. I will be coming back next week for part 2 of the Aviation Air Formation.
That's correct.
Thank you very much.
Right.
We wish you all the very best.
Thank
Okay, quickly, we'll take a break. When we return from the break, we will be looking at issues that borders on the minimum wage here. Labour yesterday issued a press statement saying that, look, they are set for a severe showdown should government not quickly hasten up issues of the new minimum wage after this break.